By now, you've definitely heard of Mr. Beast, aka Jimmy Donaldson. He has an incredibly inspiring story. His 10-year commitment has had him become one of the most famous people on planet Earth. In this episode, I'm going to share with you an incredible video he shot 10 years ago that didn't predict his future, it more than was prophecy. This is the HP3 show. We're here for high performance, high profit, and high purpose. My name is Tim Francis. It's wonderful to be with you here again once today. Thanks for being here. Jimmy Donaldson, when he first started YouTube, he was, I think, like 14 or 15 years old. And he really kind of meddled along. I think he was doing like Minecraft streaming or something like that. And he really had this kind of period of self-doubt. And so what you see right here, this is a video he shot on October the 4th, 2015. He had a really cool idea to upload a video of himself 1 year in the future. I think it's 5 years in the future, 10 years in the future, 20 years in the future. And so just a couple days ago was his 10-year video that came out. Now, when he shot this video 10 years ago, he had exactly 8,000 subscribers, I guess 8,700 subscribers. And he had lots of really interesting questions like, will I have finished college? Will I be married? Will I still be doing YouTube? And he's like, I hope I'm still doing YouTube. I hope I'm still doing YouTube. And then it dawns on him, what if I'm dead? So, he's asking some big questions here. And I would say that far and away, his number one wish was that by 2025, just a few days ago, 2025, he sincerely, with all his heart, you could just see it in his eyes. He was hoping that he would have 1 million subscribers by now. Well, let's check some statistics here, because you might say that he hit his goal. 10 years later, he has not just 1 million subs, but 443 million subscribers. And in terms of overall views, billions and billions of views. In fact, he has multiple YouTube channels that all have at least 1 million subscribers across his different charity channels, his reaction channels, and whatnot. So it really got me thinking, what's worth 10 years of my life? Like, what could I get into that I would feel so excited and so passionate about it, such that I'd be willing to stick with it for 10 years? And it actually reminds me of a quote from one of my mentors. His name is Tom Shipley. He's done over $2 billion of revenue. He's a former Israeli Special Forces operator and has bought, over a dozen companies and sold a dozen too. So very established entrepreneur. And one day, a friend of mine asked my mentor, Tom, what's really good advice you have about decision making? And Tom stopped and thought about it. And he said, me of 5 years from now, what am I going to wish I was doing today? So me of 5 years from now, what am I going to wish I was doing today? I think that's a different version of the same question inspired by Mr. Beast / Jimmy Donaldson. So I know for myself that something I hope to be a champion of for the rest of my life is I hope to be a champion for good communication and spiritual leadership. When I say spiritual leadership, I don't mean leading in a church or something like that. I mean leading in a way that is conscious and thoughtful and high purpose, not just for greed or power or lust or anything like that. Rather, it's that kind of ancient wisdom way that I'm hoping to gain more and more of all the time. And when I say I want to be a stand for it, yes, it's in really just sublime opportunities like I've got with you here today. Thank you again for watching. I think it's also in how I lead my team as an entrepreneur, and maybe one day if I run for office, how I would even lead a political party or maybe a whole country. So I think that for me just touches me so deeply, because I see how much when a person is showing up in a spiritually aligned way, they're just so much calmer. And when a leader is calm, then those around them can also be calm, even if the times are challenging. In the Bhagavad Gita, an ancient book from India, thousands and thousands of years old, it actually predates Christianity. There's a line that says, whatever an incredible man does, ordinary men follow. And of course, that applies to women as well. And I see that when I'm around just outstanding leaders, and they're not quick to get emotional, they're not critical, they're not fault finding, they're just so grounded. And I see how it allows everyone around them to get out of their amygdala, which is fight or flight, and get into their prefrontal cortex, which is creativity, executive functioning, problem solving, and whatnot. And man, if as a society, if we were just all in that prefrontal cortex and creative and collaborative and whatnot, and not in our amygdala, which is fight, flight, freeze, just how much more productive and healthy our society would be. So that's who I hope to be. And some days I'm definitely more successful than others at it. There's no question about that. Now on my screen, what you see right here, this is actually my newsletter. You can get to my newsletter by going to gohp3.com. It just looks like that in the bottom of the screen right there, gohp3.com. It's free to subscribe, and I put out one newsletter per week, really speaking about high performance, high purpose, and high profit. Lots of inspiring stories and great lessons in there as well. So go ahead and head over there to subscribe. Also, I encourage you to subscribe here to this YouTube channel. I love putting out this content. Thank you for all the private messages that I get across different platforms and also in the comments below. So I'm curious to know, what for you would be worth 10 years of your life that you'd be willing to take the Mr. Beast journey and just see what kind of incredible thing you could accomplish in 10 years from now. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.